Members of Northwood Golf Club, welcome. We're here on the 9th hole bunker, which I always drive over it, so it's never really a problem to me. However, I realise that some members, go in the bunker. Now, what we're here for today is, and I thank all you members that have put their names forward to volunteer to weed bunkers and do a bit of divoting. So I will be putting out an email with those names and what fairways they'll be required to do and bunkers they'll be required to do sometime today. There is a bit of a problem because we have an issue with the Intelligent Golf website, which keeps crashing because the demand is so great across the country. But I will get it out to you and our golf strategy for the next few weeks. But enough about my waffling. We've got a very fantastic head greenkeeper, Wes Walker here, our course manager. He's going to give you a bit of knowledge about health and safety and the correct way to weed and talk a bit about divoting as well. So I'll put you over now to Wes. Wes.
Good afternoon everyone. Yes, so we're here today to discuss how we're going to deal with all the weeds that are in the bunkers. Over the last 7 weeks the bunkers haven't been raked and therefore we've had a big increase in weeds growing in the bunkers. So I for one and my team really appreciate anyone who helps. It's a huge job for just a few people and an easy job for a lot of people, so thank you very much for volunteering. The first and most important thing we need to discuss is the health and safety whilst you're here working on the golf course. Obviously we have to keep our social distancing measures, that has to be really strictly adhered to. And basically you need to be thinking about personal protective equipment. So if you've got a pair of gloves, maybe you would need to bring a bucket. Those are the main things. Gardening gloves would be fine, rubber gloves, and a bucket. And if you have a trowel as well, there are some weeds that might need a little bit more persuasion than others. So what we're trying to achieve is basically all the weeds within the parameter of the sand need to be removed from the bunker, and it is just as simple as weeding in your garden. There are all sorts of different types of weeds in here, mainly grass. It's important to get the whole weed out, not just the top of the weed, so just breaking off the top of the weed isn't really great. So the more we can do to pull out the whole weed and the root as well, that will have a longer effect for us in the future. Small demonstration here then, it's basically grab the weed out. As you can see, there's quite a big root mass there, which is generally what you'll get from a new plant. So you can basically just shake off as much sand as you can and just pop that into your bucket, and you will end up probably with a good bucket full of weeds from this bunker because it is quite a big one. All the weeds that are around the edge in the grass, don't worry about those. You'll have a hard job picking them out, so it's just the weeds in the sand, and that's great. So when you filled the bucket up, one of the questions was asked to me, what do we do with the weeds? So if you just go to the nearest woodland area and just throw the weeds into the woods, the weeds will then die, and that's fine. So you can just literally just walk to the nearest area, throw the bucket away, and that'll be great. So that's it on weeding the bunkers. Ray's asked me to talk a little bit about divoting. We have a plan to put a trailer of soil and seed down by the first fairway. We'll provide buckets, and basically someone at the golf club will coordinate everyone to sort of pick holes like 1, 8, 10, 18 that you can walk to quite closely. So you just take your bucket, take the divot mix out, and then just fill the divots in the fairway. That'd be great. And that's all from me.
Can I just come in with a finish, and thank you, Wes, for letting everybody know about that. Don't worry about when you finish the weeding about raking the bunker. That will be taken care of by Wes and his team. So all you're required to do is weed the bunker and then go forth into a great golf club with another bucket full of topsoil and do a bit of divoting. I promise you, at some time you will be rewarded with a drink or something to eat, not by me, by the club. Yeah, I promise you we'll do that when we can all get back together. So I really thank you for everyone who has volunteered for that. We've got 40-50 people. More if you want, the more the merrier. So thank you once again, and I'll see you all over Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.